With the help of AI, I built a successful online business and got 7 clients in 29 days. And in today's video, I will take you back to the first day of this business when everything started. And I promise, a lot of things you're going to see today is only available in paid courses. And you'd learn how to use the power of AI to save your time and money. So please do not skip any part of this video so you can find out how I got this result. You're probably wondering what the business is all about. Well, let me tell you. If you've been to an Airbnb before, you should be familiar with the welcome book or guest book. And for those who don't know, this book is pretty much a guide that includes essential information about the property to help guests navigate their stay. And this is what I've decided to start: an online agency to help Airbnb hosts design or redesign their welcome books. However, even if you have the best business ideas, it will be worthless if there's no demand for it. So that was the first step. We had to find the idea. I first went to the Facebook's ads library to check if there were ads running for similar products, and I did find some stores promoting an Airbnb template, and the ads have been running for a few days now, which is a positive sign because they won't keep spending money on ads if they're not making sales. So I had to search for some of the products on Etsy. I found that many of them have a good number of reviews, and most importantly, they are getting more reviews consistently on a daily basis. At this point, I was more confident that there's more room to make money, but the only thing left was coming up with a way to stand out. So after analyzing the competitors, I saw that they all had one thing in common, which is selling editable templates, which is the customer has to edit everything himself after the purchase. But as you know, not everyone has the time or skill to do that. And here's where I came up with the idea of providing a done-for-you welcome book design service. This means all they have to do is fill in a questionnaire we will create later in the video, and then my team will take care of the full creation process for them. That way, we can charge a higher price and stand out from the competition. After that, I went ahead and created a plan for the business. It all started with ChatGPT, as you all know, where I generated the book structure. So I asked Chatbot what kind of pages an Airbnb welcome book would have. And as you can see, it gave me a detailed answer as a starting point. And it saved me hours of research. Then I started to dig deeper and generated a page's outline. So all I did then was copy and paste the page's name to get the necessary information, and it was so easy to understand what each page should include. Then it was time to design the templates with all pages. So I spent some time looking at my competitors to get an idea of the overall style. Following that, I started the design process on Canva using the information we got from ChatGPT and competition research. But keep in mind that ChatGPT would only finish about 70-ish% of the work, so you still need to put in the effort and use your creativity to finalize the design. I think it took me about 2 hours to finish all the pages, and here you can see the final result. I pretty much used all the pages the chatbot suggested, and I made slight changes during the process. So as an example, I started with the first page, which was the welcome letter, or as the chatbot described it, a personalized greeting from the host. So this is what I did. I named the page Meet Your Host. So here comes the host picture, followed by the greeting message, the host name, and contact information, exactly as ChatGPT suggested. The same for the other pages like house rules and housing guide. I simply followed the chatbot answer, and my mission was only to make the design much more appealing by, adding the color and graphics. So as you can see on the screen, I completed all pages and the book was completely finished at that point, and I was actually ready to start accepting orders. So now, if someone buys my service and sends me the required information, I would just head to Canva and easily make the necessary changes to the template. But to collect the required information from the clients, we would need to create a questionnaire. So that was what I did next. I simply copied all sessions I created in my book and went to ChatGPT. Then I asked to create a questionnaire for Airbnb hosts based on my sessions. And I also asked to split the questions into categories. And I can't say enough about how amazing it was. In a few seconds, we had a detailed questionnaire with every needed question. I want you to imagine how hard and time-consuming it would be if you have to write each question by yourself. But now, all we need to do is finish the job, is write some words. So after that, I used Google Forms to design the final questionnaire. All I did was copy the questions from ChatGPT, make changes if needed, and put it in Google Form. As you can see, the questions have been divided into sections. That's why I asked the chatbot to categorize them so they'll be easier to fill out. Now, when the client completes their purchase, they'll be automatically redirected to this form. First, they must put their email and the question will begin session by session. And when they finish filling the required information, I want to see the copy via email, or I can check here by clicking the responses. After that, I can start editing the welcome book template based on the information I got. And when I'm done, I'll deliver by email. But in order to see all of this happen, we still have a lot of work to happen. From creating the sales page to getting the clients. Let's start with the sales page, which is an important part of this process, especially the headline. This is the first thing your potential customers will see. And if you don't grab their attention in just a few seconds, you lose them. So to ensure you're doing things right, I'll tell you my secret formula for writing high converting headlines. I'll explain it first and I'll show you how to train ChatGPT to use this formula and automate the process. So as you can see on the screen, I've created a table with 4 different columns: results, benefits, time, and challenges. And now you need to fill in this table starting with the results, which is the final product. So in my case, I can put something like design a professional welcome book or personalized welcome book. Then we have the benefits of using your product or services. Here we can list something like boost your bookings, impress your guests, or stand out from the competition. Moving on to the time, which is how long it will take to deliver the product or see results. So we can put something like in 24 hours. And finally, the challenges or fears that might stop your customers from using your product or services. Or we can list some of the pain points, like even if you're not a design expert or without the stress of designing it yourself. Once you filled in your columns in different options, we can use the following formula to write down the headline: how to, results, and time. So you can benefit without / even if challenge. So all you have to do now is plug and play, and you end up with something like this: how to create a professional welcome book in 24 hours. So you can boost your bookings even if you're not a design expert. And you can make many different variations out of this formula, as you can see on the screen. Now, I'll show you how to train ChatGPT to use this formula and automate the process. First, copy the formula and paste it into the chat and type, I use this formula to write high converting headlines. Type yes if you understand it. Once you get a reply, ask to use the formula to write headline option for whatever products or services you're selling. And like magic, you can automate this process and do however you want to do with it. Comment down below and tell me what you think about that. So at this point, I was done building sales page. So here's how it turned out. As always, I like to keep everything simple, and I had to spend a lot of time in the design at the beginning. So I started with the headline I created using the formula and listed some benefit of my service. I've also added an interactive version of the welcome book so my clients can see what the end product will look like. Then comes the how the work section, where I explain each step in the process. Finally, we have the pricing as well as a PayPal button to complete the checkout. But what if I tell you that every part of this landing page has been generated using ChatGPT? Everything from the structure of the sales page to the content was created with the new version of ChatGPT. So at this point, I had everything ready, and the only thing left was finding clients. I didn't want to spend money on pay ads this time, so instead I've used a free method to find clients, which is LinkedIn outreach. The method is quite simple, and besides, I wasn't sponsored. The method is quite simple. You have to do research to find decision makers for the product or service you're trying to sell, and you try to connect with them to give you an offer. However, finding clients might take some time. Unfortunately, I won't be able to share my conversation with my clients, but I would give you some tips and examples to do your own outreach. The first thing to keep in mind is that LinkedIn is a business network, so please avoid wasting time by asking questions like, how are you and how is your day? Number 2, keep your message personalized and avoid spamming everyone with the same message, because this will not get you any results. Number 3, keep your outreach message short and end it with a question. By doing so, your potential clients wouldn't get bored, reading a long text, and putting a question at the end would make it more likely that you get a response, just like Pi, your personal AI on WhatsApp. And finally, follow the 30-day rule, which says that if you start something, you should do it for at least 30 days straight. And if you don't see any results, you can look for another option. So like I'll say, the best time to start is 20 years ago. The second best time to start is now. Go out and multiply your income.